oppression, none of that. None of these gangs. When you start seeing these gangs put motherfucking oppressors in it, motherfuckers that they speak against, that they made these gangs about, that they told you this gang was about this, then you know what they stand for. They know who they work for. Heard what Melvin Farmer said, man. Gangs are the biggest white supremacy, bro. They the biggest white supremacists, man. They are anti-black. Anytime you join a gang where you kill your own and you created it on some motherfucking brotherly love shit, and then you created it on some murder your own, and you know that shit ain't for your people, bro. Created it on some murder your own. Shit is what it is. That's why they don't like me. I don't bite my tongue for nobody, man. These YouTube niggas, they know they in violation. They know. They know they in violation. These niggas are suckers. You know? These niggas are suckers. You know? Niggas are suckers, man. That's why when you look at dudes like the Corey Kings, man, you wonder why when these gang indictments happen, these dudes, they get low and you don't hear no more about these dudes because they being paid. They getting higher up checks. Let's keep it real. Listen, I learned this a long time ago, man. The projects is becoming motherfucking condos. Okay? I used to tell people, people used to laugh at me when I used to tell people this in the 2000s. I said, it's going to be real estate developers going to buy out the projects. Dudes with men with suits that's going to buy out the projects. And look, fast forward to 2023. Who's buying up the projects in New York City? NYCHA Housing. Corporations. Own them. That's a perfect example right there. NYCHA Housing is owned by corporations now. So now they could go up on the rent on you niggas. It was a plan. It was a plan. Let's get the gangs out the projects. Let's get we got these fake OGs misleading these kids. Let's get their mothers out. And then let's get these mothers that own these houses. Let's get them out. Because they own these houses in the community on these side blocks. So let's get them out. Let's buy them up. It's all a monopoly, man. It's all a monopoly. They land on the property and they take it. And niggas talking about they hood and they block and where they come from. They don't come from none of that. Fuck they niggas talking about my hood, my block. You know? When they buying up your hood and your block right in front of you. Where they basically got you on with your people. When they basically is telling the police to kill your ass and beat your ass to get you out they hood. It's all organized. It's all part of the plan, man. He should shut his fucking mouth and get the fuck off of YouTube, man. That's all. Stop talking about shit that he don't know nothing about. You know? All this shit is organized, man. It's all structured, bro. You know? That's why I like watching, certain movies got hidden gems in it. But people don't be watching them. Perfect example. Watch the movie Media Man, right? Watch Boys in the Hood. A lot of those movies in the 90s talked about gentrification, my nigga. But niggas look at those movies and say, they look at the dumb shit of it. But if you literally sit there and you watch a lot of those movies, there's hidden gems in there, man, that tell you about the black community and the state of it. And now you see the states of the black community. You know, once you burn up your community, you have no community. Seriously, look at Baltimore. They burned up Baltimore. The government runs Baltimore. Dudes going straight to the feds in Baltimore. And then, not only that, they motherfucking gentrified that motherfucker up. They're now to the point that it's not the same beat more. Same thing with DC. Gentrified it to the point that DC ain't the chocolate city no more. You know, Philly, gentrified. You know, everything is gentrified. Why? Because they want black people in one monopoly. They want them in one maze. You know, so they're going to send your ass to Atlanta. They're going to send your ass to North Carolina. They're going to send your ass to Florida. Because when it's all said and done, if anything happened in those areas, like, you're going to be stuck there. Is what it is. Is what it is, man. But that's all I wanted to say, man. Stop listening to these bitch ass niggas like So Bulls and Corey King. Fucking lies. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Fucking lies.
4 power to the people. We back at new maintenance. Want to thank Bully Gotti for coming in and putting in that pain. Facts. We want to thank Bully Gotti for coming in, putting in that pain, holding us down. Feel me? We want to thank Bullis Gotti for holding us down. You good?
It's the big one in the red.
What's on, bro?
Everybody.
Yo, Biggie, how do you feel? Biggie, what have you got to say?
They get that car. That's what I said. I ain't have a van for this. I ain't have a van for that.
He's a good guy, right?
Big guy, right? Up in me.
It wasn't too big for the car, but it's big.
You know what he said? Cool. I don't care who you with. Lock you. Look at that. 6 3 8.
The murder of the popular rap star known as the Notorious B.I.G. It happened early yesterday morning. Bill Whitaker has a story.
It's like a sad, numbing refrain heard too often. Another gangster rapper gunned down. This time, 24-year-old Notorious B.I.G., a.k.a. Biggie Smalls, killed in an apparent drive-by shooting outside a Los Angeles park.
He wasn't no gangster rapper, my man. He was a beautiful MC. Why y'all gotta paint him down like a gangster rapper, Bill Whitaker? Huh? Why you lie like that? Wasn't a gangster rapper. He talked about gangster stuff that was in his neighborhood. He talked about gangster stuff that he seen on television. We ain't gangsters. The gangsters is, you know who the gangsters is. Stop labeling us like gangsters. We ain't gangsters, my G. We're just some old normal people living in the neighborhood.
Party early Sunday.
At this point, we do have some suspect descriptions.
His death is rocking die-hard rap fans.
But to the hip-hop community, it was a big loss because he was like one of the best artists that, you know, ever rapped or was ever in hip-hop.
He was born Christopher Wallace and became notorious and wealthy, parlaying his lengthy rap sheet with drug, weapons, and assault charges into a popular gangsta persona and platinum-plated artist for New York-based Bad Boy Entertainment.
These kinds of problems are still something that's very much in the sphere of the lives that these rappers are living.
Biggie was in L.A. last week for the Soul Train Music Awards.
What's up, Cali?
Notorious B.I.G. flirted with death in his music and his life.
If I was dead, I wouldn't have to worry about nothing. I could just lay up, either be in heaven or hell.
His next album, due out later this month, is entitled Life After Death. In the rap world, that's another sad refrain heard all too often. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
In the world of rap music, threats of violence are part of the show. But now, for the second time in 6 months, real-life violence has taken the life of a rap star. Once again, it was a drive-by murder and raises questions about what's going on in the record business. Correspondent Bill Whitaker reports from Los Angeles.
It was the kind of violence that was a recurring theme in his music. 24-year-old Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, gunned down in a drive-by shooting outside a music industry party in L.A. early Sunday. In this interview last week at a San Francisco radio station, he seemed to see it coming.
They're going to attack you if you're on top. You know what I'm saying? That's your job to bob and weave. You know what I'm saying? I need the security.
Born Christopher Wallace, he was big in the world of rap. An admitted former Brooklyn, New York crack dealer who parlayed
top. You know what I'm saying? That's your job to bob and weave. You know what I'm saying? I need the security.
Born.
So Puff, Gene Deal ain't lying. Gene Deal ain't lying. This was said to me by Mob Facts. They say, yo, I like the way you working. Hey, go hold us down. I see you representing. Gene Deal ain't lying. He needs security. You heard what he said. Biggie yelled out he needs security. Gene Deal said, Puff said he don't have enough money to pay no security. Why you lie, Puff? You wanted that man publishing deals, man. Why you lie, Puff? Why you lie, man? You mean to tell me Clyde Davis and all the people you was in bed with couldn't give you a couple of more extra millions to keep a man that's making millions alive while doing a press run in a major city such as LA, New York, and Chicago, along with other major cities? That's just the three right now. Miami. You understand? Why you ain't take him to Miami, close to the States? Close. He could have got home quicker. Why you took him to LA knowing that Tupac and them dudes just got finished mourning? Huh? You want to feel big. That's what it was, Puff. You wanted to feel big. That's what it was. You wanted to feel big. So you decide to say, we going out there anyway. So you had something on Big. That Big said, I got to go because I got to get this from Puff. Mainly that's probably how it went down. Mainly.
Born Christopher Wallace, he was big in the world.
Top, you know what I'm saying? That's your job to bob and weave. You know what I'm saying? I need the security.
Born Christopher Wallace, he was big in the world of rap. An admitted former Brooklyn, New York crack dealer who parlayed his criminal rap sheet into a popular gangsta persona, rapping with brutal language about the violence, drugs, pain, and desperation of inner city life.
He was articulate. His raps were very descriptive, and he proved to be a very philosophical presence.
Biggie's death comes almost exactly 6 months after the drive-by slaying of his arch rival, California rapper Tupac Shakur in Las Vegas. They squabbled publicly over who had the most authentic street credentials. It was the most visible sign of a violent struggle between East Coast rap moguls and their West Coast competitors for dominance of the lucrative gangster rap market. After Shakur's death, both coasts publicly embraced.
You never had a problem. You're just speaking about it now because enough is enough.
But the LAPD is investigating whether Biggie's murder may have been in retaliation for Shakur's, something fans on both coasts seem to believe.
I don't understand why East Coast and West Coast are going at it like this, killing people. This does nothing. This makes no sense.
Rap music is getting to a point where everybody has beefs with each other, and it's just getting to a point where it's getting out of hand.
The U.S. government apparently thinks so too. A federal law enforcement task force currently is investigating the rap music industry and possible links to drug and gun violations and other crimes. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
You gotta go through P. Diddy. See what you did.
The other guy.
See what P. Diddy did. See? See? You gotta go with P. Diddy. You just went to the funeral to make sure he was in there. Someone told you. Huh? Someone told us you went to go see, make sure he was there in the coffin. Huh? Huh? P. Diddy? See all our people yelling out Biggie? He'll live forever. Not like you, though. Look how mad they are, man. Look, everybody know Puff Daddy messed up that bag, man. Everybody know. The whole Bed-Stuy knew. Look. I don't want to, let me play it again, just because I don't know if they're going to put the music and all that.
Next to Bed-Stuy stuff again, and then SOTs. Okay.
They upset.
There are cops just running down the subway right now. I don't know what's going on. A whole bunch of people are running into the subway.
Yeah, see? My man put his thing up the camera.
Let Mache get that. We got to do 2:30 here.
Look at that. That's the big.
It was supposed to be a gathering to remember, honor, and to grieve the death of rap superstar, the Notorious B.I.G. But the tribute turned ugly, and before it ended, it would mirror the violent images Biggie often rapped about. Fans clashed with police following a funeral procession down St. James Street, where Biggie grew up. A number of arguments and fights broke out as fans swarmed the streets. An army of cops responded to the outbreak, spraying mace and arresting at least 6 people, including New York Times reporter Julia Campbell. However, the Times blasted the cops for detaining Campbell and says she was just doing her job. But late tonight, NYPD brass offered this explanation for the arrest.
She was arrested for disorderly conduct. She refused several lawful orders for her to move, and in fact, pushed one of our officers, and she was arrested for that.
With police was just another.
That's only because they took somebody who was giving them money in the hood, man. Come on, you took the president of hood operations out there. You took Biggie Smalls. You talking about somebody that seen that they can make it from ashy to classy. Those peoples is riding because you just took a product from their environment that made it, and then you know that he came back to, that's how much he was good to the hood. Biggie took care of his hood, man. Biggie didn't just play around like he said he played around. He made sure his hood was good. Every last one of those people's in there worked for somebody that Biggie Smalls put on. Facts. Facts. You can't. I would be upset too. You took the main bread and butter from him. And you want us to sit down and move around. The hearse is coming through the hood. And we see Biggie inside there. We hurt. We hurt. We ain't thinking about nothing but, yo, how this happened, man. He just was walking the hood, giving everybody money. Biggie was just like that. I told you I know Biggie Smalls, man. I told you I know Mr. Smalls, man. It was big. It was Notorious B.I.G. You know what I'm saying? We thought a guy named B.I.G. I was like, cool. But then he flipped it in Biggie Smalls. Like, you know, then we heard that you said that he robbed some dude for back in the days that got the name. They was cool, man. They was getting money. Biggie talked about it. They was getting money together. He knew he couldn't come out, so he gave it to Biggie. Why y'all lied to say Biggie robbed the dude for his name? Nah, the dude went to challenge Biggie like any name. Yo, he's one dude in the South named Biggie Smalls, right? And New York City got a Biggie Smalls. So what they did, they went head to head, battled. They both was black, big, and ugly. They went head to head. They went head to head. Next thing you know, pause. You know what I'm saying? They battled for the name. Duke was like, yo, it's on you. You could hold it down. You know what I'm saying? You could be Biggie and up there. I could be Biggie down here. When he said he go to Homecoming and all that, pay attention to the song. He go see his man, Biggie. When he said he didn't go to Homecoming, Howard Homecoming and all that. Listen to the songs. He go up top to hang out and see his man that gave him the name. Because it was just Notorious B.I.G. when we know him. So he was getting money back in the days until he became Biggie Smalls. You know what I'm saying? He ain't still his style. He ain't still his work. No, he didn't. He ain't still nothing from the dude. It's just hip hop. He borrowed. He said, yo, you could be Biggie in the South, and you could be Biggie in the East. So that's why those peoples is upset like that. They're upset because he took the bread and butter. It hurt, man.
Another black eye on a dark and somber day for the hip-hop community who've lost their two biggest stars, Biggie and Tupac, in just 6 months. Many, including Sean Puffy Combs, who signed Biggie to his label, Queen Latifah and Luther Campbell, Tretch, Busta Rhymes, Mary J. Blige, and an emotional Lil' Kim were just some of the stars gathered to say goodbye. Former Mayor David Dinkins also attended to pay his respects. Biggie was laid to rest today in a ceremony that focused more on the life he wanted to live instead of the one he often glorified.
I think Big want out of life what we all want, you know, success. We want money, we want children, we want a family. And I think that that's what he was becoming before, you know, before he got killed.
He wanted nothing but peace. He wanted nothing but peace. He wanted nothing but love spreading.
Ironically, on Biggie's debut album, he rapped more about violence, sex, and the fact that he was ready to die.
I'm ready to die and nobody can save me.
But ready or not, someone with a gun decided it was time for 24-year-old Christopher Wallace to indeed die. His murder March 9th in L.A. rocked the rap community, further fueled the East versus West Coast rivalry, and stunned his Brooklyn neighborhood, a neighborhood where Biggie once sold drugs, but used the rap game as his ticket out, his ticket to fame, fortune, and even respect.
It's a loss to his family, as well as the community, and as well as the rap industry.
This was his home right here. So, of course, this is where people feel it, you know, the deepest. This is where he lived. This is his people. You know, that's why you see such a lot of people out here today, a show of support.
Chief, establish your full name first, please, for all of us.
Yeah, my name is Joseph Dunn, D-U-N-N-E, Assistant Chief, New York City Police Department.
Can you tell us what's happening here, actually?
Yes, the funeral entourage for Biggie Small came through St. James Place this afternoon sometime at around 2 o'clock. After the funeral entourage left, some people entered Fulton Street and became disorderly. Several scuffles broke out and arrests were made.
Can you tell us? There's some people are saying that the police took some witnesses claim anyway that the police used a baton on a man with a child.
I'm not going. I don't know anything about that. You were out there and you saw what was going on. The police acted responsibly and with a minimal of force. 5 arrests were made. Several officers were hurt, and you'll hear all sorts of stuff. But I take that with a grain of salt. There was a very large crowd here, as you could see, and the crowd was building as the hours went on. We wanted to provide public safety here, and Fulton Street is a major commercial area. There were a lot of people here, and we needed police here just to deal with the crowd. And as you could see, 99% of this crowd was good and orderly, and they showed their respects to this man in the proper way. But several got out of hand. You saw that vehicles were damaged by people jumping up and down on the vehicles after the entourage left, and we needed to stop that, and we did.
Did you use any chemical spray?
I understand that some mace was used. I don't know that for a fact, but I believe there was some mace used.
You know who it was used at?
No.
What about the reports that a New York Times reporter was actually assaulted by the police despite the fact that she identified herself as a working press?
No, I don't know anything about an assault on a New York Times reporter. There was an arrest of a reporter. She was issued a universal summons for discon.
Do you know how many cars were damaged?
She was disorderly. I don't know the details of that. She was issued a summons for disorderly conduct.
Do you know how many cars were damaged?
No, I saw myself at least 6 vehicles were damaged.
And the 5 who were arrested, what were the charges?
We believe discon in the main. I don't know. I heard that too, and I don't know that to be a fact. No, I can tell you we have 4 injured police officers, though, if you're interested.
What were the nature of their injuries?
I don't have their names.
The nature of the injuries?
I don't know yet.
Were they serious injuries?
Pardon me? Who told you that?
No, 4 police officers were
injured.
Do you have any
Do you have any
crowd
civilians have injured?
We had approximately at the height about 150 police officers here.
Do you know how many civilians were injured?
I don't know how many civilians, if any, were injured.
So again, you wanted.
I don't know.
So again, you say the officers acted responsibly.
Yes, I believe they did.
Last question. What were the officers? What were the injuries they suffered?
Largely superficial injuries.
And you said that it was 6 arrests altogether so far.
I said 4 arrests, I believe.
4 arrests?
Yes.
What's the approximation of the crowd size?
I think there were anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 people here.
I'm sorry, I thought you said 5 arrests. How many altogether?
I'm sorry, 5 arrests. Excuse me.
Okay. That includes
That's
the
correct.
New York Times reporter?
No, that's in addition would be 6 with the New York Times reporter.
Okay. The
Okay.
nature of the police injuries, though, were they just like pushed around?
They coming, boy. They putting it together.
You want to go to this despite the fact that it hasn't started, or what do you want to do?
We're gonna get them.
Yes, I do. I'll have copies.
Doing a lot of jacking. I'm jacking too.
You hear me okay?
That man jacking beat, jacking video. He owe me.
Okay, I'm Lieutenant Ross Moen. I'm the commanding officer, Wilshire Detective Division. I want to thank you very much for being here because we are requesting your assistance, and we're requesting assistance from all the media, including the magazines. And I have to tell you that I've got numerous calls from Great Britain, New York, around the world with an interest in this case. Last Sunday morning at 0045 hours, just shortly after midnight, at the conclusion of a party at the Peterson Museum located on the southeast corner of Wilshire and Fairfax Avenue. After exiting the museum, an individual who everybody knows is Notorious Big, B.I.G., a notorious rap singer, was shot and killed after he had left the location. Up on the board behind me shows a diagram in which he was in the lead Suburban, followed by another Suburban with bodyguards. When the suspect vehicle, which is a dark, we believe, sedan, drove up along to the right side of the vehicle, fired numerous shots into the passenger door of the Suburban, hitting Mr. Big numerous times. He was transported in the Suburban to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead, guilty of multiple gunshot wounds. Again, I have to tell you that the Los Angeles Police Department right now is currently involved in interviewing approximately 200 witnesses, a number of them from out of the city, several of them obviously from New York, who were part of the entourage with Mr. Big. We have some information that we're following up and some leads already that we hope to help us culminate and solve this investigation. But if in the meantime, with this amount of press, we hope to have your viewers and your readers come forward with more information. We have a number of witnesses who fled the scene. I think
That's
the
what they're
best
looking
word. They left without identifying themselves, and trying to put that group together is extremely difficult. And
So this guy ain't gonna lie. They ain't gonna just put this out again today. They putting this out for a reason. They putting it out because they said they got over 200 witnesses. Puff Daddy, you can't get to that many. Some of them is hidden in government buildings and hiding. But they knew this time was gonna come. They was well preserved for this day to come, to solve this case. Just because another case is solved. These cold case murders will be solved. They telling you that. It's a lot of witnesses being held down by the government behind Biggie Smalls' murder. And they can't be talked right now until they get everything they need to get. They need to find the other ones. You know, the other people got to be assured that they're not going to lose their life. You know, and they want to make sure they get a cohesiveness on it so that they can say, well, you know, y'all can't say we allowed it. The government, they'll use that. So my man here is telling you that, yo, it is more people out there. It is more people that witnessed the Biggie Smalls murder, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's enough of them. They just can't be brought to the public right now. You know how many people is walking around holding a big secret like this? Wish they could tell the biggest show, biggest anything, but they'll distract us with DJ Envy. No problem, DJ Envy. We'll take the distraction. We'll take the distraction. Because I'm going to tell you right now, your job is finished. Your job is finished. You win memes. They got you as a scammer for the Bonzi Wells scheme. They got you, son. They got you. You is not going to get away, DJ Envy. They got you. Charlamagne the God going to have the Breakfast Club. They're going to get him too. His scandal going to come out. What he did. He ain't slick. He got away. He thought he did. So they distract us with DJ Envy. We talking about a lot of years, man. We talking about a lot of years. And what make it so bad, I was in jail for both of those murders. I was locked up for both of those murders. I never forget where I was at when I heard Biggie Smalls. I was in Sing Sing. Yup, I was in Sing Sing. Word. I was in Sing Sing. No, not Sing Sing, Fish Scale. Yeah, it was Fish Scale. I was in Fish Scale. What was that? What was the name of Fish Scale? It was two of them. I was in not the one. What's the name of Fish Scale? That's how long I ain't been out there. Don't want to go back. All my real rights know the name of that spot. What's the name of that spot, man? Fish Scale Annex. I was in the Annex. And then they had my peoples in the Taipan and all that. You know what I'm saying? Then the girls was next door. Used to be mad fun. You know what I'm saying? You can see the girls over there. But I heard about Biggie and Pop. Well, I heard Biggie. But which one I heard? I think we heard Biggie first. Yeah, because I was already in jail for Pop when we heard that Pop guy got. Yeah, I think I was locked up for that too. Then It was a 9-5. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on. All right, so yeah, I was locked up for both of them dudes. We heard it was on MTV. It was like an MTV situation. You know what I'm saying? It was like MTV. And I'm sitting here like, I'm in a little, like they had like a little day room or something. Fishkill wasn't that big, but it was cool though. Fishkill was cool. The brotherhood back then was kind of strong. You know what I'm saying? The brotherhood was kind of, I don't know if it was a Sing. Nah, it wasn't Sing Sing, because Sing Sing ain't give us that privilege. It had to been Fishkill. I'm trying to remember how everything was in Fishkill. They didn't really had too many things like when they moved me to Sing Sing. After Sing Sing, they started shooting around because I went back in '96 in January. I remember. So I remember hearing the story about Bill Cosby's son and his Cosby getting murdered. So I remember that, 96. So September 96, I was in jail fighting this. It was like a violation. I didn't know, whatever the case may be. They just put me right back. They sent me to Fishkill. Yeah, they sent me to Fishkill first to see the board. Board hit me and said, yo, you got to go back up north. I said, oh, man. Went back up north. I just came home on work release. I was in Edgecombe Correctional Facility. I ain't even last that long. It was a dumb move. So I was like, yo, I'm going back to the spot. Told the clerk, like, yo, I got to go back to the spot. They really set me up to put me right back in. It was like I told the off, I said, yo, it ain't even got to be like this. I just got home. I just came home. Can you please look into the situation? It's like they was in a quota game, like they was into something, man, that was just like, wasn't fair. Word up, man. I don't even know how that happened. So that case being said, cool, you know. Mind you, this man just left not too long ago, Tupac. But that was before I went all the way to Clinton and heard that, yo, you in the cell that Pac just left out of and all that old. I was like, word. So anyway, but that was after he got murdered. Then Big got murdered. Then it was just while in jail, man. It was real heavy in jail, man. Real heavy in jail, man. Well, we heard them. It was just people who kept saying they was from LA. And then it was just, there wasn't really that many Bloods in there from LA like that. There was a lot of Five Borough gang members. They didn't even see too many Crips in there like that. Blood really was out there making moves when I was, and I ain't see no Crips. I ain't see no Crips in there when we was when I was doing my bid. It was not that. It wasn't that many, man. It wasn't that many. I seen them other kids making moves. You know what I'm saying? I seen them other kids making moves. That's a fact. So that's what it was. Let's get back to him.
And tiring, it would really help our investigators if they came forward. We are at the meantime right now, hopefully with some of the witnesses, to being able to get a drawing of our suspect. When that happens, we will put that out on the press.
How good a description of the suspect do you have?
We have a male black in his early 20s, and that's the description we have right now.
Senator, you look at this as payback for the Shakur. I mean, it's no secret they were bitter enemies. Is there any way that this could be some kind of payback or retaliation for what happened in Las Vegas?
The detective investigation is going directly in all kinds of directions, and we're not overlooking any possibility of a payback or a gang-related type shooting. We're not overlooking the fact that this was possibly a hit, a directed target. coming out of probably New York, could have come out of LA, could have come out of Atlanta. We're looking at this in connection with a number of murders that have occurred around the country dealing with rap singers. Obviously, we had one as early as 2 years ago at the El Rey murder, or at the El Rey Theater following the Soul Music Awards. I do have to tell you, there's 20 detectives who are working on this under the direction of Kelly Cooper. And we do feel that we will be able to, with this amount of effort put into it and the cooperation of your viewers, solve it.
Didn't the bodyguards see anything? Didn't the bodyguards that were with the Notorious B.I.G., didn't they see anything?
We have interviewed several of them. We have gotten descriptions from them. Yes, they did see some of them, quite frankly, when the shots started, ducked, did a normal reaction, and that's their statement, is that they did not see what happened at that time.
Isn't that the same thing that happened with the Tupac Shakur killing, where there were bodyguards on the scene, yet somehow they managed not to see anything?
The realization I think you have to believe is that when somebody's shooting at you, your first reaction is not to get a description of them, but to take cover, duck, close your eyes, get out of there, move, and that's what happened. It was a very fast sequence of events with a 9mm weapon. And that's all I can tell you about the weapon at this time. Witnesses have said there were more than one person in the car, but we're focusing on the driver of the vehicle at this time.
In other words, the driver was the assailant, was the person.
We believe the driver was the assailant.
Lieutenant, witnesses cooperative, uncooperative?
The witnesses we've interviewed have been cooperative. Those that haven't come forward or we haven't talked to yet, I can't tell you about. We hope they will be.
Sir, have you identified the other individuals who were in Mr. Biggs' vehicle with him at the time, as well as the bodyguard vehicle?
Not all of them.
Well,
Not all of them. There are several individuals we believe were in the vehicle, and we don't have their identification yet.
Was Sean Puffy Combs one of the individuals?
He was in one of the vehicles, yes.
was he with Mr. Biggs?
I don't think so.
Lieutenant, you mentioned other incidents in other cities. Can you specify what murders those rap-related murders those were? And we know about Vegas and Tupac, but you mentioned New York and Atlanta.
No, I can't. You'd have to refer to those cities and ask them what they have on it. As far as
When you said the hit may have come from New York, I mean, can you give us more detail? Why would New York be involved?
No, I said New York, Atlanta. We're not eliminating Las Vegas or any place. In our investigation, we're not restricting it to the city of Los Angeles for any reason, for any purpose, for motive or suspects.
Did you ask for any protection prior to that?
Are you connecting the other violent acts to this one?
We're looking at those as a possible connection. When we're talking about the other murders, we obviously cannot eliminate the fact that there's been a number of murders involving rap singers. Yes, we have to look at those, and yes, we think there may be a possibility, so therefore we're going to talk to the other detectives in the other cities.
That would suggest there's some validity to reports that there is a rift between East and West Coast rappers when they say, no, that isn't the case.
I would believe there's always a possibility when you have a highly competitive, lucrative business, as the rap groups, that there, anything that I have read or heard as far as a rift, I have no personal knowledge of. It's what, like you, I've read in the paper that said perhaps there was a difference between the distribution company out of East Coast versus West Coast.
Is that the most likely scenario at this point that investigators are focusing on? Is that it was related to something like that?
We're not really focusing on any one specific aspect. We're looking at witnesses who can give us an identification. We're talking to people who hopefully can tell us who's involved in this murder. We're not overlooking the fact of whether it was a rival rap group or whatever, or narcotics related, gang related. We're looking at all those aspects.
Because it involves many cities, do you think there's going to be a federal government or a federal investigation on the rap music industry that you might be involved with as well?
No, I'm strictly involved in solving this murder right now. And as far as any supposition, as far as a national or federal task force doing any investigation, again, I'd refer you to the federal side.
Well, have you been in contact with police departments in other cities?
Have been in contact with federal agencies, other task force, and other departments, yes.
Federal agencies. Active cooperation, would you say?
Out of the Justice Department.
The people in all the vehicles that you interviewed, are they cooperating? Would you characterize them as being cooperative witnesses, or are people just stonewalling and not talking? Anybody that was in the car that may have been directly
involved in the shooting itself?
The degree of cooperation varies, but we would have to say generally cooperative.
Lieutenant, could you explain how many people were in the cars again?
Since I don't know, it would be difficult. We feel there was probably 5 people in each of the 2 Suburbans. We don't know that for a fact yet. In each of the 2 vehicles that are, you see up, depicted up there, which is the 2 Suburban vehicles that had left, followed by a black Blazer.
So there could have been 4 other people in the Suburban with Big?
Yes. And 5 in the Suburban in front of him, and 4 or 5 in the Blazer behind him.
Is anybody else hit?
No, not to our knowledge.
Do you have any
I'm
information as to whether he was lying in wait or attended the party where this vehicle came from?
I would think the indications were that if he was the intended target and he was hit, that someone had to be laying in wait for him to come out, to answer your
You think he was
question.
at the party?
Could have been, whether I think so or not, I don't have a thought on that. I can answer your question. Could the shooter have been at the party earlier? Possibly. I don't know.
Sir, can you show us on those vehicles you've drawn on your diagram, point to which one is which vehicle?
Yes, I will.
Thank
Be glad
you.
to.
Can you give us some sort of a perspective on who these witnesses are? It was an industry party. You remember them in the industry? They're from out of town.
There are a number of them that are in the industry, yes. There were what you would call the entourage, which is not necessarily in the industry, but they go along with the group. And there are rap lovers, people who are there as fans. And it was a celebration of the Soul Music Awards that occurred on Friday night. And they'd been in town for approximately 3 weeks with the entourage. So that's, I believe, just a culmination party on Saturday night at the Peterson Museum.
Have you contacted by magazine for a guest list, since there is a possibility that the shooter may have come from inside or at least knew of his presence there? Have you contacted the people who threw the party for a guest list, considering the possibility that the shooter may have come from inside or at least knew that Biggie Smalls was going to be there?
We have done a number of things along that line to locate witnesses who may have seen the shooting.
Are you doing anything to prevent any possible further violence that might be an outgrowth of this incident? Either in, West Coast-based rap groups or among the gangs here?
I believe the best thing we can do as far as preventing any further violence or any paybacks on this is solving this murder as quickly as possible.
Lieutenant, have you warned anybody? Have you warned anybody?
No.
Was the victim's window open or closed when he was shot?
I don't know. I asked that question and I wasn't at the hospital to see if the vehicle had glass in it or not.
Sir, did the gunman,
To answer your question, the window was apparently closed when they fired into the vehicle.
did the gunman
But
say anything at all before firing the shot?
We have no witnesses that said anything was said before the shots being fired.
Did the fire department shut down the party early due to overcrowding?
Yes.
They got
Witnesses. People who talk to Mr. Biggs' car indicate that he has received threats or anything like
Oh, they're
that.
like aliens. Know who they are.
I don't have any specific information on any threats to Mr. Big. I would have to believe as visible and notorious he was, there is a very strong possibility that he may or may not have. I mean, it's a very big answer because I don't have any information to do that for you.
Any clothing description on the suspect? From eyewitness accounts?
No.
Can you tell us exactly how many witnesses have been interviewed today?
No, I can't. I cannot because, like I said, we have 20 investigators assigned to this out of Wilshire Detectives, plus 2 detectives out of our criminal apprehension section downtown. And interviews are going on right now. I would estimate we have another 150 witnesses to interview.
So we've done about 50, would that be about right?
I'm not sure.
Lieutenant, a lot of us covering this story don't know a whole lot about rap and have had to do some quick research over the last couple of hours. What about your investigators? I mean, have they got a brief, quick history on rap and interconnecting this?
You actually have an advantage over myself as far as if you've done 3 hours of research on the history of rap in the United States. I have been briefed on the history of the rap violence that has occurred in the last several years in the different groups and their involvement. As far as the history of the rap music industry itself, no, but as far as the criminal aspects of it, yes, we have.
Sir, it's been 6 months now since Tupac Shakur was killed, and I'd like to find out, are you reasonably confident with the information and the suspect that that you have now to think that you will come up with something strong as far as evidence within the next bunch of days, or does it look like this is one of these investigations that can really drag on?
Now, I'm very confident that we're going to solve this murder.
Has Faith Evans given a statement on Mr. Bigg's ex-wife or estranged wife, mother of his child?
My man said, we will solve this case. We will. Now they asked about Faith Evans. All this is coming together. I feel bad that the man lost his life for people to be living and doing the things they doing and they ain't even doing nothing. It's terrible.
Has she spoken to police yet?
We talked to her, at the hospital, and she was at the hospital.
Was
No,
she
we-
able to provide?
No comment on any comment that she made. You may talk to her if possible, but no
Was
comment
she in the
on any,
vehicle?
no comment on anybody's statements as far as any of our interviews at this time.
Can you say if she was in the vehicle with him
I
or
don't-
in his entourage vehicles?
I don't know.
It appears to the detectives that this was a hitman based on his skills at firing.
It would be extremely difficult for me to give a profile on the shooter as far as his expertise or history of being a hitman. No, I have no knowledge of that. Realizing what had happened, the close range, close proximity, I don't think it necessarily took an expert to do what he did.
How many shots were fired?
I didn't say numerous shots. Those that have the videotape of the vehicle can see that there was numerous shots fired into the passenger door.
How many times
The vehicle's moving,
I didn't say.
the vehicle's moving.
The vehicle was stopped at the time.
Was in the middle of the street.
Yes.
And you
Because of the light or?
What I can depict for you up on the drawing, as you see, which is on the left, which would be lane N2, northbound lane on Fairfax Boulevard, is a Suburban followed by a second Suburban that pulled out of the Peterson Museum parking lot with our victim, Mr. Big, in the second vehicle. When another vehicle, and this is the dark vehicle containing the suspect, pulled up along the right side, and we believe from our witnesses' statements, the driver fired from that vehicle numerous shots into the driver's door of the second Suburban. I can point it out to you so it'll look a little clearer. But basically, here's the Peterson Museum. For your clarification, this is Wilshire Boulevard running east-west, Fairfax Boulevard running north-south. Here's the north. Coming out of the Peterson building was the first Suburban. And then we had the second Suburban, which Mr. Big was in. And the suspect vehicle pulled up alongside. First vehicle or second vehicle, right?
Trapped him.
But when I have to tell you, the vehicles were stopped here at the red light.
So he was a passenger then? He couldn't drive?
He was the driver. Now, Mr. Big is sitting here, right? In the right front passenger seat of the Suburban. The other vehicle pulls up alongside. Excuse my graphic artist here, please. And the driver shoots numerous times into the vehicle.
Were any shots fired out of? Big
Damn.
car?
We have no evidence that there was any shots fired by anybody else other than the suspect at any time.
Was his entourage armed? Anyone in his entourage armed that you know of?
We believe they may have been armed. We don't know that.
How many shots did Biggie sustain?
I didn't say numerous shots. An autopsy was performed this morning at the LA Coroner's office, and cause of death is multiple gunshot wounds to the upper body.
Was there a weapon found?
No weapon found.
But you believe they all came from the same weapon?
Yes, we do.
Does the name Jake Robles play into this at all, a case out of Atlanta?
No, name doesn't mean anything to me. It may be, and when we finish our investigation, it may mean everything, but I have no knowledge of that at this time.
Did the vehicle with the shooter in it, did it also come out of the parking lot, or did it come up the block from,
We don't know.
you don't know?
We don't know.
Lieutenant, one other thing that was unclear, or maybe I just missed it, was there a light there? What would have been the reason for his car to have been stopped?
There was
there?
a signal light at that intersection, and he was stopped for the red light.
Somebody give chase to him, the suspect, or?
One of the security vehicles gave chase as the suspect vehicle proceeded eastbound on Wilshire Boulevard, went a couple of blocks and never saw the vehicle again.
You never got the license plate number of that vehicle?
No.
What was the security company that was providing the security for that party?
I don't have the name of the company.
But it's one of their people that tried to make chase?
One of the security people that they had hired that made chase.
So it was that particular van right there that made chase?
No, it was the Blazer that was following behind the two Suburbans. There was a third security vehicle that was behind the two Suburbans.
Oh, a private security that was for Mr. Big himself or for?
Yes. The question was there another vehicle involved? And there was. That was a third security vehicle, which is a Blazer that was following the two Suburbans. That vehicle took chase of the suspect vehicle, never saw it. After the suspect vehicle made a right turn eastbound on Wilshire.
It was a Mr. Big security, not the museums or parties, right?
Mr. Big security.
Do you know what location?
Part of his entourage is what how it's been explained.
Do you know what location the entourage was headed to from the party?
No, I do not.
Do you have any more details about the vehicle?
I do not. We've had various descriptions. We know that it was a dark vehicle, and we believe it was a sedan.
With the number of officers assigned to this case, the nature of the case being high profile, you said this is your top priority right now as an investigation?
Right now, in Wilshire Detectives, it's a top priority from the standpoint of you have 200 witnesses that you have to interview, that you need to put a lot of people and a lot of resources into it immediately to interview those witnesses. And with the high profile, with the number or the extreme interest that we're getting from around the world in this investigation.
Sean Tucker comes back in New York, or do you know he's still here in LA?
I don't know where he is at this time.
Was there any indications of any altercations inside the party prior to the shooting?
No.
Has there been any
The
retaliation?
questions when you heard me say no, the question was asked if there was any indications of any type of altercations inside Peterson Museum prior to the shooting. We have no knowledge of any.
Have there been any retaliatory shootings as there were in the after the Tupac incident? Have there been any shootings on the streets of Compton or anywhere else related to the shooting of Big?
We have no knowledge of any other shootings relating indirectly or directly to this shooting anywhere in the city or anywhere outside the city for that matter.
What about this Don Harrell shooting his gun? What was that about?
That was unrelated to our knowledge. We believe it was an unrelated incident occurring with an individual who had a gun, who after the party was being broke up, fired his weapon several times into the air, not at anyone directly, and was subsequently arrested.
Thank you.
At this moment, I need either now or later from you an update on the shooting on Friday on Manhattan.
That's being handled by the federal postal authorities. They handle the entire investigation with the Attorney General's office issuing the arrest and search warrant. The arrest was made in that case, but you'd have to contact the press relations out of the postal authorities for that.
Los Angeles police reportedly are investigating the notorious Crips Street gang in connection with the drive-by murders of two popular rappers. Tupac Shakur was shot in Las Vegas last year, and the notorious B.I.G. was gunned down earlier this month.
It's been more than 2.5 years since rapper Notorious B.I.G. was shot and killed. Now police are looking at one of their former officers as possibly being involved. According to a story in today's LA Times, former officer David Mack may have conspired to provide a hitman to kill the rap star. Notorious B.I.G., his real name Christopher Wallace, was shot and killed outside the Peterson Automotive Museum in March of 1997. He'd been attending a music industry party when his car was riddled with bullets. According to documents obtained by the Times, Mack, who is now serving a 14-year prison sentence for bank robbery, may have arranged the contract killing. Mack was a former partner of ex-officer Rafael Perez, who is at the center of the LAPD Rampart scandal. The Times published this photograph, allegedly from a police file, of both Mack and Perez standing together back in 1997. Perez's testimony has led to at least 12 officers being relieved of duty, prompting the largest corruption investigation in LAPD history. Sources say the Mac connection right now is just a theory and one of many theories detectives are working on. But it certainly has to be a theory that causes great concerns here at Parker Center. In downtown LA, David Goldstein, KCAL 9 News.
While the music of Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G. live on, so does the mystery of who put an end to their young lives.
Can't believe it. You don't get popped by a cop when you're a cop.
Tupac is just as popular even after his death and just as visible, with last month's release of his film Gang-Related fueling rumors he's still alive. But autopsy photos published in this new book called The Killing of Tupac Shakur may put an end to those rumors. Meanwhile, the man Las Vegas police once named as suspect in Shakur's murder, alleged Los Angeles Crips gang member Orlando Anderson, is suing the rapper's estate. Anderson has never been charged.
Orlando Anderson completely denies having anything to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur. He does do that. But there's more to the story.
Vibe magazine's latest issue features an interview with Anderson as well as an in-depth look at Tupac's murder. Anderson's lawsuit contends that he was assaulted by the rapper in the lobby of the MGM Grand Hotel, captured here on surveillance video. In turn, Shakur's mother has filed a wrongful death suit against Anderson, alleging that he is the one who fired the gun that killed her son. Suge Knight, the man who was driving the car when Shakur was shot, also alludes to the fact that it was Anderson, who some say is also known as Baby Lane, pulled the trigger.
Suge Knight names an individual named Baby Lane as who he thinks is responsible for Tupac's murder.
Okay, so here we go when they saying Suge ain't gonna give up nobody. Suge lied. Y'all lied. Suge just gave up somebody. Oh, Suge ain't gonna tell on Keefy D. They been in the sandbox together. He ain't had to. He told right there. He told right there. He said that person name right there. We're talking about the biggest case in history. We're talking about the rap biggest case in history. Here it is. One died in 96. Somebody died in 97. One died in September. One died in March. So look, March 9th and September, apparently like what, 13 or something like that. He lived for 7 days apparently. Gave y'all this Machiavelli album, 7 Day Theory and everything. So Biggie Smalls is gone a year later, just to go to Hollywood to pick up an award. When we see people don't even go pick up their awards, and they get someone to pick it up on their behalf. I can't believe this. It hurts my heart. But Suge Knight already told. He's told right there.
He does not say Orlando Anderson.
In turn, Shakur's mother has filed a wrongful death suit against Anderson, alleging that he is the one who fired the gun that killed her son. Suge Knight, the man who was driving the car when Shakur was shot, also alludes to the fact that it was Anderson, who some say is also known as Baby Lane, pulled the trigger.
Suge Knight names an individual named Baby Lane as who he thinks is responsible for Tupac's murder. He does not say Orlando Anderson's name, and Orlando Anderson says that he is not Baby Lane. So it's still quite the mystery.
Yep. She got something to do with it. Come on, B.
The death of rapper Notorious B.I.G.
That's crazy.
Remains unsolved, but one of the people reportedly
That's
questioned
crazy.
about his murder is a man by the name of Dwayne Keefy D. Davis. He is allegedly listed in police files as a member of the Los Angeles Crips, and interestingly enough, he is Orlando Anderson's uncle. His car has been seized, but he's not been named as an official suspect. But B.I.G.'s family is not so sure about the police gang theories.
They probably just count him off as another gang killing or something, you know. And he wasn't in a gang, so I mean, it wasn't a gang killing. As far as I'm concerned, it was my husband being murdered.
One of the biggest sources of info for LAPD has come from this sketch of a suspect they released shortly after not made an arrest. BIG's widow, Faith, and his mother are offering their own reward to the person who finds his killer.
I mean, one at all try to shame, the LAPD, but it's like his murder as well as Tupac. I don't understand, how could they not, have any leads? I'm sure they have a lot. Maybe they're not following the right ones,
But while both killings are upsetting to many, some positive has come from their deaths, according to XXL senior editor Rob Marriott.
Hip hop is starting to take on a new attitude, and people are kind of using the sadness they feel and the confusion to focus on building new things.
Still, there remains hope that the murders will be solved.
There is a lot going on, and I think that things are going to continue to percolate, and the investigations are only going to continue.
So it's sad. That we got to go through this. Y'all saw it like I saw it. Y'all heard it like we heard.
Media following you, the size of the city.
Y'all heard it like we heard.
Be intimidating, but if you win, man, there's nothing
You know what
like
I'm saying?
playing in New York.
Now I'm gonna sit here and play a game. See how many of y'all come in. Game time. You're still gonna find.
He hits the second from the line.
You're still gonna find.
We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Brunson finds Valanciunas. Inside Thomas. Here's Chet. Good assist goes to Thomas. That's 10 points for Chet. Unstoppable this quarter. The defense, they have many answers for it.
Just getting prepared for 2K24. Still got 2K23 over there. I'm gonna finish this up so that we can have clear understanding of 2K24. Go.
Just drive right around. Hook loose.
Heard me? Peace to the peoples in the building.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Garland against Brunson. And here's Waba. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Here's Mitchell. Again, the Cavaliers score.
Mitchell, oh man, he's feeling it this quarter. They should be looking to get him going every trip down the floor.
Brunson kicks to Thomas. Over Waba. He climbs that one off the back iron and got it for him.
The story here early on is how
I'm the New York Knicks. You know me.
Garland, the pass to Waba. Now Allen. Passes it to Waba. Garland looking it over. 6 to shoot. And it's Mitchell missing. The next one by 6. Here's the try. Hit his pocket. And Garland has it in the corner. A three-pointer is right on target.
13-16.
he doesn't waste any time right there. Thinking he gets that hot pass and he moves.
And the Nets decide to take their first time out.
You okay? Oh, sorry. You sit back here. All right.
How would you handle chemistry issues when you play?
Great.
Some things are just unavoidable. Some teams have great chemistry, and some teams.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's too much sunny glare, so I can't really show y'all. And y'all can hear it. Right? Okay. Thank you. All right. Hey! You okay? Thank you. All right. All right.
He's getting to the line, not nearly
What's up?
as effective as he'd like.
What's up?
Now the free throw is good. Now leading by one.
Oh, well, I can't even. All right. That boy don't want me to do nothing. If he love, boy. He chilling. Dad, that's good enough. Dad. That's good enough.
Alan Junis hits them both. Bluesy, fundamentally sound, big man. Alan Junis is a throwback. More importantly, he's willing to play whatever role is asked of him. Now, here's Mitchell. Streaming in 34 points. And it's slamming it down. Assisted by, he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some urgency from the lead. Brilliant outstanding score by Mitchell. He takes it to another level of play. And kept it up all the six. Spider is a guy who wants the limelight, and like other stars, takes on more of a load in the postseason. And now the latest from our reporter David Olman.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Champ in their last matchup against the Mavericks was terrific. He had 44 points. And all game long, he seemed like he couldn't miss from outside the arc, converting many times from distance. His numbers were off the charts. He was unguardable, and he knew it. He took advantage of it.
Thanks, David. Yeah, it was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy. Yeah, the catalyst for that, man, it was an effort that I'm sure he's hoping to replicate tonight.
And it's very likely that he and his guys can carry that momentum into this one.
Here's Mitchell. The made shot from Champ. Shot clock at 6. Here's Wang. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
Hey, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders as they work out low.
There's the pass to Champ. Takes a 3. In it goes. This time in 2 tries.
And he's made his number of offenses actually.
Here's Wang. Releases. Makes with the rebound. The biggest thing in the game was now to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
Well, it's really supporting the facing very low resistance.
I ain't get no foul right there. That was a hard body foul right there. Piece of love, McQueen. I'm sitting here relaxing, just doing something for the game, people. Bullets got to show and sent that little information. You know? You can't get real quick to say things. Hang out. Okay. Thank you. All right. Yeah, he all right. Yeah, everything is all right. Yeah, he all right. All right, that thing still bothers. Yeah, we just sitting back, just thinking, talking to the people. It's kind of blaring. Perfect lighting.
That's good from Jim.
Have to throw that Biggie Small thing up there real quick. Keep that alive. You know, they just ain't gonna find Pop. They gonna find Big Murderer too. Somebody got it tapped off. Gonna get him, find both of them. I like that man. He was talking real good before he put the subtitles on. So they got 20, 100, 200 witnesses. Man, that's a lot of witnesses. That's a lot of witnesses. For a high profile case like this that we got. This thing, you know, to hear yourself say, yeah, man, I'm gonna die. I know they're gonna kill me. You know, Biggie thought about this stuff. You know, when Biggie thought about this stuff, you know, you would think that he would be like, yo, I'm not gonna be around to see all this. It's tough, man. The mother not here to get the estate. Faith Evans take everything. The daughter, the kids, cool. But man, 200 witnesses. That's a lot of witnesses. That's in bunkers. That's in areas that you'll never know. These are aliens. Serious. Can you imagine seeing these people knowing that secret for this amount of years? Almost 30-something years. Laying in their bed, shivering. Going out to a park, shivering. Supermarkets, shivering. You know? Can't talk to their family members. They got to go to class every day dealing with, they bet not discuss this. It's scary. Very scary. Scary. It's scary. Very scary. To know that you've been dead for 30, 40 years. Look how long Malcolm X been gone. They just found this murder. It's deep. Those are called cold-hearted people. That's cold-hearted. That's cold-hearted to know that you did that to that person. Like I was thinking about the guy that did the thing to Bob Marley. Even though they set up Bob Marley and Peter Tosh to go against each other. But you know me. I'm still for the peoples, right? So I love the irony of my peoples just being us. But the point is, we got to think. But this cast of work, what he did to Bob, and look, he on his deathbed to say, yeah, I did that to Bob Marley. Come on, man. I gave him a shoe that messed his feet up to give him cancer. Come on, man. When I heard him say, ouch, I knew that I got him for right there. How can you go to bed at night with your wife? How can you make love? How can you sit down and eat a good meal knowing that you did that sucker stuff? Then you're going to say, if you didn't do it, they was going to get me. I'm telling you right now. You ain't got to worry about me. I'm going to be displayed different. Because I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that to my people. You got to display me different. Parade me different through the street for 100 days or something. You know what I mean? Because I ain't going to sell my peoples out like that. Who would know? Who knows what these guys would have did if they would have been alive today? And you did all that to keep what fame to keep, and now you nothing. You trying to come out here with a love album. Suge Knight is in jail. When you had these guys in your camp, nobody wasn't in jail. They was going through some stuff, but nobody didn't get hurt. It was just a lot of money being made. There was a lot of money being made. A lot of money being made. Now we lost those guys. What's his name is trying to get out of the scandal. You know what I'm saying? What's his name is in jail. Messed up eye. He can't see, glasses, whatever he's doing.
Such a field shot there.
You know? So what happened? We put these guys in a position to help them out, to take care of these guys. And there they go.
Creative score. Mitchell uses that versatility.
Make me feel bad. Make me feel bad on being in the hip hop game.
On the interior, this is just
knowing I got to worry about
physical basketball, guys.
Some people. Man been dead 20-something years. You mean to tell me now his case is being solved? Now it's being solved. Now it's being solved. I'm almost the age I'm in. Now he finally just got some good people. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Good detectives out there want to solve this case. Yeah. Yeah. I found out my landlord, who's an American Jew, is stuck out there in Israel. I said to myself, man. I was like, man, hope them Hamas leaders don't get them. Yeah, guy, that was $120 and some change. We come back with the energy. We just came through to kick it real quick. And talking about my client at the place that I was renting the spot out. So let me finish up my real estate class and I'll call y'all and come right back. Appreciate you. Your Bullets Gotti, thanks for that. Appreciate that. No doubt. And holla at me on the holla. You know what I mean? Hamp doing.